Hello students, welcome to InstaOwl's English class, where we believe in democratizing education for all. Students, today we are going to explore the secret tool behind clear communication, tenses. Let me ask you something simple. When was the last time you told someone what you did, or what you're doing, or what you plan to do? Chances are you did it just a few minutes ago, without even thinking about it. That's because we use tenses all the time while telling stories, making plans, sharing updates, or even just answering, "How are you?" Tenses help us place our actions in time. Without them, language would be completely confusing. Now that we are ready to begin, let's start by understanding the most basic question. What are tenses? They are the verb forms used to express the time at which an action occurred. So basically, tenses are the forms of verb that tell us when something is happening. Is it happening now? Did it happen before? Or will it happen later? That's what a tense helps us show. It is basically divided into three main categories: present, past, and future. We use the present tense when something is happening at the moment or regularly. The past tense tells us about actions that have already happened. And the future tense is for things that are yet to happen. The purpose of using tenses is to help us identify when an action or event occurs within the context of time. We now know that tenses are divided into three main categories: present, past, and future. Let's take a closer look at the types of tenses under each of these categories. Each tense category, present, past, and future, is divided into four forms: simple continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. These forms help us describe actions in more detail based on time and duration. For example, when we use the present tense, here's how the sentence changes depending on the form. To begin with, I play cricket. This is the simple present used for regular or habitual actions. Next, I am playing cricket. This is the present continuous used when the action is happening right now. After that, I have played cricket. This is the present perfect used for actions that happened at some point before now but still feel connected to the present. And finally, I have been playing cricket. This is the present perfect continuous used when the action started in the past and is still happening right now. Now, let's shift all these into the past tense. Firstly, I played cricket is simple past, tells us the action is complete. Then, I was playing cricket is past continuous, tells us actions that were ongoing at a certain time in the past. Moving on, I had played cricket is past perfect, used when one past action happened before another past event. And finally, I had been playing cricket is past perfect continuous, which is used to show a past action that was continuing before something else happened. Now for the future tense. To start with, I will play cricket. This is simple future for actions that will happen later. Next, I will be playing cricket is future continuous, used when an action will be in progress in a specific time in the future. Then, I will have played cricket, which is future perfect, showing that the action will be completed before a certain time in the future. And lastly, I will have been playing cricket is future perfect continuous for actions that will be ongoing up to a future point in time. Each tense form gives us a clearer picture of when and how an ongoing action takes place. We've looked at the types of tenses. Now let's see how each one is actually formed. To do that, we'll go through some easy to remember formulas, starting with the past tense. To start, let's look at the simple past tense. Its formula is subject plus the second form of the verb followed by the object. For example, the children did their homework. Then we have the past continuous tense, which uses subject plus was or were, then the verb with ing and the object, like the children were doing their homework. Next comes the past perfect tense, subject plus had plus the third form of the verb as in the children had done their homework. Finally, the past perfect continuous tense combines subject plus had been plus the verb with ing and the object. For example, the children had been doing their homework. Now let's switch to the present tenses. Let's begin with the simple present tense. Its formula is subject plus the base form of the verb, and for singular subjects we add s or es followed by the object. For example, children do their homework. Next, we have the present continuous tense, which uses subject plus is, am or are, then the verb with ing and the object, like the children are doing their homework. After that comes the present perfect tense, where we use subject plus have or has, then the third form of the verb and the object. For instance, the children have done their homework. Finally, there's the present perfect continuous tense, which combines subject plus have or has been, the verb with ing and the object. As in, the children have been doing their homework. Let's now focus on how we form sentences in the future tense. To begin with, the simple future tense, which follows the formula subject plus shall or will, then the base verb and the object. For example, the children will do their homework. Next, we move to the future continuous tense, where the structure is subject plus will or shall be, then the verb with ing followed by the object, like the children will be doing their homework. Now, let's look at the future perfect tense. This uses subject plus will have or shall have, then the third form of the verb and the object, as in the children will have done their homework. And lastly, the future perfect continuous tense, which combines subject plus will have been, the verb with ing and the object. For example, the children will have been doing their homework. Just to clarify before we move on, V1 means the base verb, for example eat, play. V2 is the past form like ate, played, and V3 is the past participle such as eaten. These formulas are your tools for building clear, correct sentences in any tense. Let's now explore our first major category, present tense. Definition: describes actions happening now or regularly. So basically, present tense is used when something is happening right now or when it happens regularly. It's all about actions connected to the present. For example, the teacher explains the lesson. This shows a routine. Next, Vihan is studying for his exams. This action is happening at the moment. And another one, we all have been waiting for you for over an hour. This action shows that it started earlier but is still going on. Let's now break the present tense into its 4 specific forms, starting with simple present tense. We use the simple present when we talk about habits, facts or routines. If something happens again and again or is always true, it fits here. So let's take a look at the examples. Kuheli studies hard for exams every day. That's a routine. Next, girls play basketball every Saturday morning. That's a habit. And water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. That's a scientific fact. This form uses the base verb, that is V1, and we add s or es for singular subjects. Now, let's move to actions happening right now. That's the present continuous. The present continuous is used for actions happening at the moment of speaking. Example: she is walking to school now. In this sentence, the action is in progress. Another example: we are learning about the French Revolution. This sentence shows a current lesson or ongoing situation. The formula used in these examples is subject plus is or am or are plus base verb plus ing. Let's now move on to the present perfect, used for recently completed actions or experiences. We use present perfect when an action is completed or already done at some point before now, but its effect is still linked to the present. For example, we say, Nikita has completed her assignment on time because the action is already done and the result matters now. Another one, all the boys from academic department have finished the job. Here, the task is over, but the focus is on the outcome. The structure for forming present perfect sentence is subject plus has or have plus past participle form of the verb. Now, what if the action started earlier and is still happening now? Then we use the present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous tense states the actions that started in the past and are still happening. This simply means that it's used to when something began in the past and it's still going on. For example, Brushali has been studying for her exams all this week. Here, she started earlier and she's still preparing for it. Another one, we have been waiting for the teacher to arrive since morning. This shows that the action hasn't ended yet. This tense follows subject plus has or have been plus base verb plus ing. Now, as we finish discussing the types of present tense, let's move towards past tense. Let's begin with the past tense, which describes actions that took place in the past. This means the action is no longer happening, it's already over. You'll notice this clearly in examples like Rahul fought with his friend or Shubham was crying for a toy. These are things that occurred earlier. Some actions are short, like Dipesh had taken half day. Let's start with the simple past tense. It refers to completed actions in the past, and we form it using the second form of the verb, what we call V2. Look at these examples. She walked to school yesterday. The action is done and clearly happened in the past. Similarly, Sameer felt bad, or she visited her grandparents last weekend, or they watched a movie together yesterday. All these sentences describe things that are over. Even, he played soccer with his friends after school, and we traveled to Paris for a vacation. These sentences show finished past activities. Now, let's move to past continuous, a tense used for actions happening at a specific time in the past. This shows us what someone was doing at a particular time. For example, she was studying for her biology exam all evening. The action continued for a few hours. They were playing soccer when it started to rain, so the rain interrupted an ongoing action. We also say he was reading a novel while waiting for his friend, or we were working on a group project during lunch yesterday. Both highlight things that were still in progress in the past. Next comes the past perfect tense, used for actions that happened before another action in the past. Here's how it works. Example, she had finished her homework before the movie started. It's clear that finishing homework happened first. In the sentence, they had already left by the time I arrived at the party. The leaving happened before the arrival. Likewise, he had studied hard for the test, so he felt confident. The preparation came first. And we had visited that museum once before our school trip. Tells us the visit was already complete before the trip began. The verb form we use here is had plus V3, that is the past participle. And now we have past perfect continuous, used for actions that were ongoing before a past event. Example, she had been studying for hours before she finally took a break. The studying continued for a long time and ended just before the break. In, they had been practicing for the play for weeks. The action stretched over several days. In, he had been waiting at the bus stop for over an hour. Shows that the waiting didn't just happen, it had been going on. Finally, we had been working on the group project all night. Shows a long, continuous action before something else followed. We use had been plus V1, that is the base form of the verb, plus ing to show the extended action before a past point. Let's begin with the future tense. As the definition says, it describes actions that will take place in the future. These are events that haven't happened yet, but we know or expect they will happen. For example, she will be studying all night for the math test. That's a planned action, something she intends to do tonight. Then we have, they will have completed their group project. This means the task will be fully finished before a certain future point. Now take, Kavya will participate in the upcoming debate competition. It clearly shows something scheduled for the near future. And in, we will have been learning about ancient civilizations for 6 months by next week. The focus here is on how long an action will have continued before a specific time. These examples give us a clear glimpse into how future actions are expressed, whether they are starting, ongoing, or wrapping up. Let's now explore these types in more detail, starting with the simple future. The simple future tense is used for actions that will happen in the future. We form this using the structure subject plus will or shall plus base verb, that is V1, plus object. Here's how it works. Take this sentence. She will study hard for the final exams next month. That's a plan. It hasn't started yet, but it's going to happen. Then there's, they will participate in the science fair this year. Again, the action is expected in the coming months. Next, he will finish his history project by Friday. The use of will finish shows a deadline in the future. And finally, we will visit the art museum on our class field trip. That's a clearly scheduled upcoming activity. Each of these examples use will with the base verb to point to something that hasn't happened yet, but definitely will happen. Let's move ahead to the future continuous. The future continuous tense helps us talk about actions that will be happening at a specific time in the future. The structure for this tense is subject plus will or shall plus be plus base verb, that is V1, plus ing plus object. Take this sentence. She will be studying for her finals all weekend. This means that during the weekend, the action will already be in progress. Similarly, they will be traveling to Italy this time next month. So at the future moment, they're already mid-journey. Now, consider this. He will be working at his new job by next summer. That suggests a change in routine or lifestyle expected in the near future. And lastly, we will be attending a workshop on environmental science. Again, it shows something that is scheduled and will be actively happening. All these examples focus on what will be going on, not just what will start or end, but what will be in progress. Let's continue with the future perfect tense. The future perfect tense is used for actions that will be completed before a specific time in the future. The formula is subject plus will or shall plus have plus past participle, that is V3, plus object. Let's look at how it works. In the example, she will have completed her degree by the time she turns 20. The degree will be done before her birthday arrives. Then we have, he will have saved enough money for a laptop. That tells us the goal will be reached before an unstated deadline. Next, we will have moved to a new house before school starts in September. Again, the move is planned to be finished before that specific future event. All of these examples focus on the completion of an action by a certain point, not the ongoing part, just the fact that it will be done. Let's now look at the last type, future perfect continuous. The future perfect continuous tense describes actions that will have been happening for a certain period by a future time. The sentence structure is subject plus will or shall plus have been plus base verb, that is V1, plus ing plus object. Let's understand this better through examples. Take, they will have been practicing for the tournament for several weeks. This means the practice will already be going on for weeks by the time the tournament takes place. Now look at, he will have been working on his novel for a year by the end of December. This tells us the writing began earlier and will still be happening until that future deadline. Both of these sentences highlight not just that something will happen, but how long it will have been happening to a future point in time. Let's now go over some key rules for tenses that will help keep your writing clear, consistent, and grammatically correct. To begin with, it's important to keep tense consistency in writing. For example, if you start a story in the past tense, you should continue using past tense throughout. Don't switch to present or future in the middle unless there's a clear reason to do it. This helps the reader follow the timeline without confusion. Another thing to remember is how we use perfect tenses. These are often linked with time references, likely by the time, before or after. For example, she had left before he arrived. Here, before helps define the timing of two different past actions. Moving on. Continuous tenses are useful when you want to highlight actions in progress. These are the tenses with ing verbs like I'm reading or they were playing, and they show that something is still happening at a particular time. And finally, we have simple tenses, which are used to show completed actions or regular habits. For instance, I walk to school every day is a habit, while she visited her friend is a completed action. So, whether you're writing a story, a report, or just speaking, these rules help you use tenses correctly and clearly. Let's now apply everything we've learned. It's practice time. We'll begin with the first task. Identify the tense in the following sentence. She has been studying for 2 hours. Take a moment. This sentence shows an action that started in the past and is still happening now. That tells us it's in the present perfect continuous tense. Moving to the next question. Change the sentence to the future perfect tense. He has completed his homework. To change this into future, we think about what the sentence is saying. Something is already finished, so in the future perfect form, it becomes he will have completed his homework. Now, let's try the last one. Change the sentence to the past perfect tense. She will attend the meeting. We shift this from simple future to past perfect, which expresses an action already completed before another past point. So the sentence becomes, she had attended the meeting. Practicing tense transformation like this helps strengthen both your understanding and accuracy. Now let's summarize tenses with some quick Insta-lights. At the top, we remember that tenses express the time of actions. We saw that tenses are divided into 3 major categories: past, present, and future. Each of these has 4 forms: simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Understanding how each of these forms work help us structure a sentence properly, whether we're talking, writing, or reading. So here's the key takeaway. Understanding tenses helps you communicate more clearly. Hope you enjoyed learning tenses. Stay tuned and curious with InstaOwl's video for more such information. Bye.